Hello everyone, welcome in another episode of What's Your Story? Here I'm with Franky and with Peter. I used to call him Piotr because of my Russian study background.
Could be Piotr, yeah.
And we agreed that it can go both ways. When I was talking to the guys how I found their movies so different, but at the same time with some similarities as well. Even when we made the panel discussions, we talked about film and propaganda and how the governments or how the societies they manage to manipulate film in order to serve a different agenda. But the first time someone thought I should film a movie, and actually it wasn't just about propaganda or anything, it was everything about acting and manipulation of time and space. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to give a background for a war or something that happened many years ago, you're actually manipulating time and space. And this is something I found both in common in Idaho and space.
Okay,
and
space.
yeah, and I was pretty much like not shocked, but surprised how two different narratives, how two different stories might have that essential thing in common, which is the manipulation of time and space. I always make the $1 billion question to my guests, and I'll start with gentlemen. I'll start with Peter.
Yeah, sure.
What's your story?
What's my story? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's pretty wide.
Where should I start? I mean, focusing on filmmaking or just... focusing on filmmaking. I grew up in a small city called Dushniki Zdrój. It's a small village. I think 4,000 or 5,000 people live there. And I was inline speed skater, and I was doing skiing also too. Okay. So I was like a sporty guy, but I always carry some camera or something around me. So my first movie was about my friends who ski. And we ski, and in the middle of that, I put some small scenes, and I start there. Then, fast move forward, I get to the school. I didn't finish my school because I figure out that cinematography it's cool, but I like more to direct. And then I find I want to do my movie, and I did. Przestrzeń, which is space. Which is the title I don't like. Yeah.
When you get into a film school, because being for 4 years now a film festival director, I've seen many directors come to Idromeno and telling me that when we got into the film schools, we felt like we would restrict ourselves from a freedom of creating. Is that so?
Actually, no. No, because it's funny, when I get into the school, I was like, no, I want to only do I want to use only camera and film, because imagine when I was in this small city, I never get to theater, I never even get to big cinema. Only when I move out from this city, I just see, oh, this is cinema, this is how people do things. And I was, before the school, I was like, I don't want to do pictures, because when you go to the film school in Poland, the public school, you need to show the portfolio of your pictures, not moving pictures, not the film. And suddenly I was like, oh, I like making pictures. Then I get into the school. I was like, I'm not gonna edit never. Now I get into editing, and it's so fun. Then they ask us to do script writing. I said, I cannot write. So then I force myself to script writing, and so on and so on. And suddenly I figure out, hey, I want to work with actors. I don't want to be behind the camera, because you only like can say, hey, move a little bit left, right, there is a light, something like that, but you never work emotionally and get creative with actors and movement, directing, whatever, around that.
Franky, we had a conversation before, and I didn't know actually you studied philosophy. Does it inspire or affect creating a movie when you know some terms about metaphysics and how the spiritual world is affected by arts?
Yeah, for me it's always the case, because when I'm writing, I have an idea and I write scenes and I'm looking for emotion or sensation, but I always have in regards some philosophy books or some ideas or things from history or sociology, and I like to keep a balance between something which is very concrete, like meeting people, asking them questions, like I did with Idaho, because at the first it was a documentary project, and I met a lot of people. And in the other side, I was reading Nietzsche, Bergson, Nietzsche because he only want to have a god who can dance, and Bergson because of the sensation and. Something about the men were plants, so we cannot move, and we have roots, and we cannot move.
It's something about being dynamic and static at the same time.
Yeah.
In fact, in the movies, we have like an exploration of our deepest emotions. Like when I was having conversations with guys who saw the movie, and we were like down there smoking a cigarette and having a conversation, they were all like, oh, but the guys who went in the rave and then they saw this all this symbology around them, and this probably shows the deepest unconscious thoughts that we have, and we made a parallel. We didn't know with Nietzsche too, because he dwells into those feelings, those human feelings. And when we were talking about space, because as we were discussing before, the girl committing suicide or the girl killing her father, it was an ambient, like you don't know if it happened for real, if it only was creation of her imagination, or if it was something that she would manifest in the physical. So both of the movies have this sort of dream and this sort of reality thing. And probably this is what is the topic of the most famous psychoanalysts or philosophers. They delve into those deep, dark feelings that the humans have in order to get liberation. When on Sunday we had a discussion about Lars von Trier, and we talked how he just grabs those myths and uses them in a certain way, and somehow violates them in order to get that human liberation from some fears or some passions that they have into themselves but somehow are restricted. Are we looking for a liberation in a movie?
Are we?
Are you? Are you?
I don't really know. Liberation is a strong word, so maybe just an understanding to make a decision if you want to be free or not, or I don't know.
Do you think that by giving people a choice, like to decide what do they want to see, we give them some sort of open end, like even to themselves?
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish that we give them, but it's hard when you watch your own movie. It's like, oh, now I see only mistakes and things I want to change. But I'm always curious what people say from outside. But yeah, usually I heard like some people were like, oh my God, what was that? What is it about? Because I don't understand anything. And then we talk a bit, and they're like, oh yeah, I see that. But I don't know, how is it with you?
I like to think the film like a mirror, on to when meeting the audience, to see what clicks with what person.
Yes.
Someone say this thing, and some other say this thing, and to make the film open.
Yes.
It can be very intimate for many people.
So it's some sort of a spectrum within each person.
Yeah,
So
reactive.
reflecting emotions that we actually have inside of us while watching a movie. In the process of in the making, did you have like the story lined up in your head and you just went for it, or the story changed while you were putting all the layers?
I just want to go back for the previous question just shortly, because I remember now after the premiere my friend who's a psychoanalyst just came to me. It's like, oh, I understand everything. Why you were worrying that people won't understand? And then I go to some random other person and it's like, oh man, this is so hard. Going back, I think I get idea for this movie when I was in a school, and I even started at the school. I was thinking I can do it with like a person who's not an actress, the girl who's not actress. She's a dancer, and we even start and we shoot. I think the last scene, which is in the movie, and we shoot a few other scenes, and it was so hard because I don't know how to work with non-professional actors. And actually, I take a break from this movie, and this girl went to London. Oh, so much. It was complicated, so I just rewrite it, find the actress, and then shoot it like I think 4 years later. So mostly what was on the paper is on the screen, but mostly. Speaking of like, for example, the scene where the Paula finds a girl in the hotel. Yes. That was the process of. It's just funny process because I never worked with subconscious mind, and I find this simple technique that you just close your eyes and just go, just count 1 on 3. I will get there. I said on 3 I will go there, and suddenly I find this girl, and we're just interacting with her, talking with her, and she showed me things in my mind. I was like, oh my God, because normally in my original script there was a scene with the car crash and complicated stuff, and suddenly I find, oh, that could be much more simple to say it. Am I saying it?
Probably when you write something down, you might have such a great idea and you think, oh, like I have to make this and I have to make that and the car crash and everything. But then probably you realize that less is more and you just find that specific technique. But I think this is a problem even of finances and funds.
I mean, actually, we were about to shoot this scene, but every street we try to close or find from government to accept to shoot this scene, like they say no, or it was like totally extremely expensive to do it. So luckily I just have to rewrite it, and that was.
But you had a fragment of the car scene in the film.
Again?
You have a very short fragment of a car in the film. So it was this scene or another scene?
Another scene,
okay.
Because instead of, I don't know, I was saying, but instead of this whole scene after meeting the father, she ran away from the hotel and get into the car crash. In the car crash, she finds this girl, blah 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 blah. In my mind, it's still more interesting and more, because
more dynamic.
There is some action, not just walking around the hotel rooms, but yeah.
Okay.
Does the fiction affect the reality, or we can show the reality within a fiction?
I want to give an answer which is not an answer. I don't like opposing documentary filmmaking and fiction filmmaking, and there's a lot of movies who are trying to
intertwine them.
So maybe it's a bit an exaggeration to say fiction and reality are the same.
Oh, right.
But I want to say it.
Feel free to say
I think I could agree to that, especially if you get into filmmaking and know how people doing documentaries, they are like pushing it so much.
Yeah, they're lying.
They're lying like hell. So I agree to that.
Probably because when we studied both philosophy and I studied cinematography, like I said to you before, in a totally different angle. I had cinema studies, and of course we are used with yes guys, now this movie should be evaluated like this, like that, and then you should see the story in the background, you should see the historical content, the historical experience and everything. So it's a lot of methodology and a lot of technique, which helps. I cannot say it doesn't help, but at the same time we're used with some frames in the academic world. That's why I asked you, does it help the film school? Because there are some frames that you just want to crash. But when it comes to making a documentary movie or making a fiction movie, probably it can be like a great mix which help people, because if you give them something very concrete, you're going to lie, like you never lived in the 90s, or you never lived in, I don't know, in another century, or in a war that you're trying to depict. So the imagination, is it like an enemy, or is it like a surplus in order to give a story in its best way?
I don't know. I think just for me, stories are just very simple, and I know my stories are never simple, but
yeah, the stories are very said the guy who made us all wonder. Come on.
I don't know. I always look. I know, because I know people always look story outside, like looking it in newspapers or meeting people or doing documentary about it and then make it fiction. I'm quite opposite to that. I always look inside and like, oh, what's this demon is trying to tell me, and I just try to make a story out of it. And but that's my way. I don't know how other people are doing. I just find it very interesting to me that there's so many things inside you that wants to go outside and tell a story.
Yeah. I wanted to put in another light your story. While I was watching it, I felt so much perplexed because I was like, okay, now we have to like go back and study, because it might seem very, like we said before, very dynamic and very static at the same time, working with this kind of dialectic. How hard it is to put it on screen, like the two opposites mixed together.
A lot of people say that to me about the film, but for me, you must just watch this film like any other film and follow the characters. What is happening, and yes, there is a lot of reference on symbology, but if we follow the main character, Ivan, what we know about the other characters, it's what he knows. That's why there are fragments and we don't know where the stranger come from, because the main character don't know. One of the theme of the film is something about the arbitrary of the world and how things work. So that's what I want, but people needs explanation and needs an understanding and ask a lot of questions about that. I spent years to write this movie, so you can spend years trying to rewrite it, but I'm not sure it's the purpose of.
Yes.
I'm like I said, it's more like you take what you want,
yes.
I'm more interested by you take a feeling or a sensation,
yes.
and you don't need to. Oh yes, so the myth of Faust. So there is Goethe and there is Pushkin, and you don't care about that.
Yeah. You made me like realize something. In fact, when I started to study like art criticism and film criticism, we were always trying to find the elements, why the director did use this, why the director did use that. Probably there is not an answer at all. Like, I used that because I wanted to. Like, in that moment I was given that and I just took it. Do we like push too far with explanation and explaining the movie and trying to explain the symbology? Or do you do it on purpose to make our lives more and more miserable and difficult as art critics?
I have a story about that. I was at a masterclass from the documentary filmmaker Wang Bing. And there was the person asking question who were writing a thesis about his cinema, and he was asking, but why did you place the camera at this point in the room? And Wang Bing say, it's 60 meters square, so I didn't have a choice to put the camera here because the bed is here and the person is here. So
not everything has deep meaning and like a symbology or an explanation.
Even I like when it's a mistake or some improvisation or something happened that you never expect to happen. That's, I think, the best in making movies on a set. I mean.
Yeah, that's probably the beautiful process of the making. Like, you're there, and probably you feel like a child. Like a child who has the power to like.
No, because this child had to pay for this movie and
emotionally, not financially. But probably you have like the power to play with the image, to play with the actors, like to play with the cameras. If you feel like doing something, you just go for it. You just don't think, oh, the art critics or the audience would think that or would think those.
And you talk about mistake, and we choose our mistake. So we make a mistake, but we keep it or not. So there is an intention behind that. Maybe we like to play with critics. Like,
See,
Even
I
now,
knew.
now I'm thinking about the scene when the Paula is coming from the hotel and getting to the car, and suddenly I just said, "Hey, Pavel," because his brother, her brother was Pavel, like in real life, and I asked him, "Hey, just open the booth, don't open the car, like the whole car, because we usually do." He came, opened the car, she
Yes.
get inside the car, and like, oh, that's boring. And then this mistake happened, and suddenly she just start acting like she started improvising, and that was extremely like I really liked that. But my editor said, no, we have to cut this out. And I said, hey, that's my movie. I want to keep it.
See?
yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Well, last question that I would like to make to both of you, like that I made to all the directors here. It's not about having something in common, everybody, or having to answer to a common question, but I think that nowadays we have a frenetic reality, and cinema somehow is going into a slight crisis. Do you think that we are reaching at a point we're running out of authenticity, we're running out of stories, or the consumerism is just affecting even the way of making art?
We were joking with my friend that now you will sit at the couch, you will prompt what you want to watch, like funny movie, comedy story, blah blah blah, type it, and you're gonna watch 2 hours movie or a 1 hour movie. Hope it's not gonna happen, but I see it different way, because now AI allows us to. I'm talking from different point, like from making. I don't know how is it gonna affect. Yeah, but I think like the crew is gonna shrink to few person, and people will do more on computers and less on the set, and so one person actually can make a whole movie, or like 3 persons. Like even now the commercials is like AI commercials. I'm saying, like there is a DOP, director, and the producer. That's it, and they just make a whole movie, which I don't know, on the commercial is like, I don't know, 15, 20, sometimes even more people working there. I think I'm going away from the question, but I don't know. Hopefully it's not gonna collapse, or maybe it should collapse, and we'll go back and just grab camera and shoot on a film. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting point of view.
Yeah.
Franky.
Yeah, for me it's a strong no. I don't think anything will change. For me, AI is just a tool like any other tool.
Yeah.
You talk about prompting, imagining the audience prompting something. I think our job as director is proposing something the audience don't know he wants.
Yeah.
So if you just say, what I want is a story with a princess, and you're not surprised, you're not feeling anything, you just want to watch the same thing, and that's okay, because we all watch the same TV series each year because we need comfort. But so someone like the Astakul or Tsai Ming-liang just are unique. Yeah. So we need them. And the story are always the same, I think, since antiquity. So
however, we should like be more gentle, probably, and just let the AI be AI and the directors be the directors.
Yeah, we need to be careful, not to let the AI thing and do anything because we like the novelty of the technology, but I think in the long term, just artists are artists and they are human, and we may have some interesting thing, but there is always a human behind the technology or the tool. So
just exciting now, I think.
Yeah.
But people will get bored of that.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Even now, I think documentaries or even the YouTube, like people want to watch real people do stuff, and people watching like, I don't know, 2 hours or 1 hour movie, like there's a guy who fixes a car, and this is just real. People want to watch real things, and real actors, real scenes, not prompt one.
This said, I want to thank you both for
thank
accepting
you.
my invitation at the festival and at the podcast. Thank you for sharing your ideas and your stories. Godspeed for tomorrow in the competition, and we will meet up tomorrow in another episode. Thank you.